Kia ora everybody, Julian from Mosh here again. Hope you're all doing okay. Got my isolation haircut. Imagine a few of you are rocking something similar. Today we're going to be talking about community management, and this is a really important part of social media. It's called social media. That means interacting with people, and community management is around the comments and messages and incoming feedback that you get on social media. We're going to focus on Facebook, but a lot of this stuff applies to any platform. There are a few principles that I want to talk about today, and we've learnt these through the last 10 years of doing community management every day, including Christmas. So the first one I want to talk about is the idea that community management needs to be always on. That's rubbish. How we think about it is as sessions. So when we start working with a client, we agree on an SLA, a service level agreement. So that might mean we're going to do 2 sessions a day, 7 days a week. So that's all it is. Just a document, something that you can agree on internally around when you're going to be doing these sessions. And as a result, you'll then have the maximum response times. So if you're doing it daily, your maximum response time is going to be 24 hours. Are you doing it on the weekend or just during the week? And it's really important, if you've got a manager or a boss and you've got that expectation up front, so they're not going to be looking at the page on the weekend and messaging you wondering why somebody hasn't been responded to, because it's laid out in your SLA. Okay, this next one is kind of a mental trick that you can do when you're performing community management. It can be difficult to approach these situations objectively when there is some emotion involved. So think of your response like it's a test, like an exam, and just keep in mind that the response that you formulate is less about the person that you're replying to and more about the other 1,000 people that are going to be forming an opinion on your brand and your business when they read it later. So that's important. Think of it like you're sitting in an exam. The next one is pretty simple, but you want to take the difficult situations offline. And it's not appropriate to be having those kinds of private conversations publicly on a Facebook page or otherwise. Give them a phone number, an email address, ideally both. Give them some options, and then discuss that, resolve it in a private setting. Something else to keep in mind is some people will just be impossible to please, and you kind of have to know when to quit. We've all seen the examples of businesses, and usually it's an owner who kind of gets carried away on social media and really tries to take the fight to the Facebook page. Social media and Facebook in particular is not the place to change the minds of the belligerent. So don't even try. If you have made a real effort to get to a point of resolution with somebody and they just carry on, then other people looking at that are going to realize that you've done what you can. You've got some options to you, and we'll talk about some of that in the next section. And what I want to show you now is how a community management session might look on Facebook. So let's have a look. All right, so when you're doing your session, jumping on your Facebook page, first place you want to look is under here, more, and then notifications. And here we go. This is a stream of all notifications. It's a good starting point. You get to see any activity on your page. And as you can see here, we've got a comment on our photo or our post. We can click in there and check it out and see if we want to do anything with that. So jumping in here. And there we go. Love this. I'll be in touch. Okay, that's a great message. We can consider a couple of options here. If you're busy, sometimes you might just like it if you've got a whole lot, or react. In this case, we'll give Amelia a little bit of love. Thanks, Amelia. Look forward to hearing from you. Cheers, Mosh. That'll do. Nice. Hit enter. We'll like that comment as well. Okay, we can click out of there. But before we do, I just want to look at a couple of other options. As you know, not all of your comments are going to be positive like this, and there are some people out there who are going to have negative reactions to your content. It's a part of life. Accept it, and here's a couple of options. So what we can do here is we can delete or we can hide. it's kind of a little bit of a hierarchy: hiding, deleting, ban. So I'll start with hiding. Hiding's quite good because the person who's made the comment doesn't actually realize that you've hidden it, and their friends can still see the comment, but everybody else can't actually see it. So it's a nice way of kind of ring fencing any potential arguments that you might get on your page. And we're not advocating for shutting people down or anything, but the reality is there's some people that just say some weird stuff, have an axe to grind and jump on your page. So that is often a necessary step. Obviously in this case we don't want to hide that comment. And then the other one, delete. Pretty self-explanatory. We'll talk about banning in a minute, but that's kind of like DEFCON 5. So those are some options. Clicking out of here, and you can see that there has been marked as red. We find that's a really tidy way of keeping your notification area. We generally try and keep everything marked as red so that when you come back here it's really easy to see what hasn't been actioned. After notifications, what we do is we go to the inbox. Let's wait for that to load. Waiting. Yes, Facebook can be slow sometimes. Waiting. All right, so here we are here. So no messages here. Having a clear inbox is a beautiful thing, so try and keep your inbox clear. And we can see here we've got a comment and more. Jumping down here. Okay, what we've got here is a poster page. So Amelia has gone onto the page and has said, "Hi, keen to hear more about the social media manager packages you guys offer." So that's cool. There's been a comment on a post, and then consequently there's been a post to the page. So we can action that. We can reply to Amelia, maybe invite her to give us a call or give her an email address. Nice to give her a couple of options. So that's a basic process for coming to your Facebook page and just making sure that you've actioned the things that need to be actioned. Okay, so the next bit is banning somebody. Now, there are a couple of reasons you might do this, and obviously it's kind of the extreme example. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about when and why you might do it. So on the page, jump up here in settings, wait for that to load, and down here, people and other pages. Jump in here, and you can find the people who like this page, and you can search here. If I wanted to ban Amelia, check that, and then I go ban. So we don't want to ban Amelia, she's lovely. But why might you do this? The obvious reason is somebody who is spamming your page, or has got to a point where they're just not appropriate anymore. But the other reason is sometimes when you're promoting your content or running advertising, you are pushing your brand into people's news feeds, and some people aren't going to appreciate it. So if you've got people saying, "Don't show me this, I don't want to see it anymore," then by banning them from your page, you're also excluding them from seeing any of your promoted content in the future. So that can be really helpful and quite considerate. So that's all I've got today about community management. Look, it's quite a big topic, and I've really only scratched the surface. There's a whole lot more we could talk about. Maybe we'll revisit this in the future. But if you do have anything that you would like us to cover, let us know, and we'll see if we can get a video up helping you with your questions. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you on the next one.